Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program RP-0. This is our Twitch recap episode from last Sunday's live show, where I am extraordinarily happy to announce that we finally took delivery of the Shuriken Mark 6 Type K, the crew carrier variant that will take over varying crew to and from KP Station in low Earth orbit. So as we're about to load it up here in the VAB and take a very quick preliminary look, I will turn you over to Old Me live during the broadcast. Alright, let's zoom out. And did it work? It worked. Oh, that is awesome. Oh, that's so awesome. I guess we don't have a dummy payload in here because, yep. Oh, we got crates. All the crates. Wow, this thing. Fully CLS compliant. Beautiful as hell. Oh, look at that belly pan. Oh my god, dude, that is amazing. Alright, and Wookie built this, so I'm just going to assume that all the staging is absolutely correct because, of course it is. It gets the Wookie logo. Oh, Lucy, did you just send me a link to Fallout Online? I have played that. Not in very many years, but I have. Alright, let's save this and run a simulation. Let's go a little longer than 15. I should have deleted the other number first. Not 220, but whatever, 22 minutes, that's fine. Simulate. Yes! Oh, I'm so excited I finally get my hands on this thing. Ha 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 ha. Alright, sorry, I need to catch up with chat now. Let's just play some KSP, shall we? Alright, so hopefully we're just going to do a launch to orbit, turnaround, and return test. That's the plan, no particular target in mind. I don't think the monitor's damaged, it just splashed a little bit on it, but I don't know, it's one of the bottom corners. Amazon Prime photo storage, yo. Alright, let's do this. Alright, SAS is on, throttle is set to full. These HG3s, I assume, they sure look like it. Do I need to balance anything, Wook? Too late. Crash, go home, you're drunk. We're lit off the pad. What do these bits do on my end? I mean, it's change in the pocket. You hit a certain minimum, Amazon pays you out. It goes up straight. It doesn't do the launch pad drift that I am so incredibly accustomed to. Are these 172s, Wookie? Like the 1.35 off the pad instead of 1.06? Yeah, pretty much. That's useful. Perfectly balanced as all things should be. Yeah, 172 in vacuum HG3s. Excellent. Return to launch site abort, Lucy. I mean, we're going to have to run one eventually, although I know Wookie has probably done them to death. He's extraordinarily thorough in his testing. Alright, and what kind of angle should I be looking at to be, come booster step? It has TWR greater than 1.0000. You actually didn't test this much. You make an M1 shuttle because that thing is huge. Oh man, yes. Single engine shuttle. Alright, no. If you're going to use the M1, you might as well use two of them. Because go big or go home? I don't know. Maybe? I don't even think I have the M1 in this install, which I thought I did from the get-go, but apparently I scrubbed it. You didn't throttle down, but whatever, go at throttle up. Oh, you're right, I did not throttle down. Oh, the M1 Energia? Did chest just before you got in line where the right side HG3 failed at liftoff. Made it to a transatlantic. M1's in FASA. Yeah, I do not have FASA. One central engine instead of 4. Oh, okay. So you're gonna do up the Ron style, but you're gonna swap the those RD-0-210s for single one. For some reason, yeah. For some reason, part count. I don't have part count facet part count. Oh, this thing goes up like a dream. I can actually fly it without not paying attention to chat. I just kind of point it where I want it to go and it goes there, which is amazeballs. Alright, we're going to shoot for a 250-kilometer orbit because that's the orbit of Kawaii Potato Station. So no dump abort. Kept all the EFT fuel and still got to 7550. Oh, wow. Overdid it. Overdid it. Oh, don't even have to kick the RCS on to correct, although as we're getting through these boosters, getting a little nose heavy, not a big deal. We were coming up on booster sep. Oh, too low, huh? Yep, okay. Let's not let that be a thing. Alright. Boosters off and away. Clear. Excellent. Yes. Dumped out all the EFT, hypergol, fuel, and some locks, and then we've made ATO, but with no fuel to transfer. Shuttle, you are 2-engine TAL. What's the call sign? This is your craft, your call. Are those engines RL-10s? Oh, Lord, no. These are HG-3s. This has all the same oomph. B9 procedural. These are the same engines that are basically on all of our upper stages. Cockpit has 2 minutes 32 seconds of HA-10 fuel with it. Alright, so if we ditch the EFT without fuel transfer, can we bring them safely back? Same as Atlantis, Endeavor, etc. Fail the side engine right now and see how it handles. I'd like to know what nominal looks like before I start failing things. Enough to deorbit and land in the cockpit only. Excellent. Alright, then we're not going to worry about transferring fuel over. I'm not going to say you need to use your nukes to make a shuttle, but you need to use nukes to make a shuttle. I kind of have this unwritten rule about not lighting an NTR on the ground. Seems a bit overpowered for a Mark II. 213 meters per second. Oh yeah, we can definitely deorbit on 213 meters per second. More if you dump the food and water. What's the worst that could happen? You should be doing before... Oh, I should be dumping food and water before landing, eh? Okay. Dump the crew. Yeah, I was like, we're only taking 2. This thing's rated for, what, at least 6. I went way too high. So we're gonna angle down, because this is what I get for not paying quite enough attention. Let's see if we can't run down that time to apogee a bit more. We're a little slow to be pulling off maneuvers like this. 6 nominal with emergency jump speed. Project Orion, am I right? On orbit weight of this thing is 80 ton with the fuel transferred. Okay. Say, I mean, this thing's primary duty is not just to ferry crew to and from KP Station, but to carry fuel to and from KP Station. Fuel for the Nemo and the Dory to make their trips out to the moon and get the crew there and back. So while it may look tiny, it might is mighty.
Okay, this is the last share of the stream.
Is it now? Thank you, Commander Cloud. Greatly appreciated. Heard about an Orion variant that used antimatter-induced hydrogen bombs that didn't spew out fallout. Really? And Wook, we still need a call sign for this. Press to Miko, single engine TAL. Yeah. There's the stockpile of aerosine and nitrogen tetroxide. We'll get transferred into the shuttle after we're done with this burn for weight balance purposes. Oh, I'm so excited to play around with this thing. Months I have been waiting. Abort to Mars. Well, this is really the last one, I swear. Oh, thank you so much, Commander Cloud. Single engine press to Miko. These things get places fast. Always wanted to send the shuttle orbiter to Titan. I mean, who doesn't really? Alright, we are coming up on circularization. 800 meters per second or so left, and our orbital shut down. 323 by 281. Oh, that is brilliant. And yeah, still some DV because we do not have cargo on board. And one for the shuttle. I also just want to make the X30 and the X33. Oh, those would be so much fun to see, honestly. Alright, let's shut these down. No, not actuation toggles. Come on, KSP. What are you doing? Shut down. Lock gimbal. Alright, and this is normally where we would go through and transfer in all the aerosine and N2O into the orbiter and make our press onto KP station. We will not be doing that today. We will, however, be hopefully trying for a... Oh, I only set the simulation for 20 some odd minutes. So we're just going to go ahead and abort out of orbit now. Post Miko equals HE7. Need to make a Zarasoga. Transatlantic abort. HE3 lasts 10 minutes. Hit orbit on 2 engines in under 10 minutes. You gave it 3 for safety. Ah, so that's why it's so oomphy. You know, so it would be really cool to have a nice TAL abort runway. I don't want to land it at night. So do we buy enough? Yeah, we got all the money. Let's just run with it. All right, we're going to stage off. I'm going to bring a little fuel on board. Just a little. Just a little. We'll put it all the way in the trunk. Stop. There we go. And yeah, that will stage off the EFT. Good day, sir. Alright, do we have solar panels or fuel cells or anything that we need to worry about in here, Wook? No, solar panels. We can go ahead and pop those out. Let's just check our power draw. Extend, extend. Alt-X. Let's get rid of our trim so that it can stop doing this wiggle. Have all the things. 6 RTGs. Things like T plus 15. You're single engine moron 104. Fuel extra goes into the COM tank and the pants tank only. Excellent. Speed brakes. Work like a charm. Fantastic. Crates all empty. I'm assuming, I did not check. That's our docking port for KP station. Aerosine is a 50-50 mix of UDMH and hydrazine. Yes, I believe it was 50-50. Alright, and power draw. Electric charge, fully charged, and staying that way. Fantastic. Alright, we're going to do a single orbit abort. So look, where do I put the periapsis? We're just going to buy all of the... all of the simulation, I suppose. Yeah, abort once around. That's what I was looking for. Somewhere around 30 or 40. I guess I was more accurately looking about like how many degree radians or whatever do I need to offset from my desired landing site? And how much do I need to vent to make it a thing? We'll just do like we do Shuriken. Or not Shuriken. This is Shuriken, the SKS. And trail our desired landing site by just a little bit. But we'll sink the periapsis in a bit more. 12, that's probably too low. And we'll get a good gauge this way. 12, still? I thought I moved you. 80, too much. Probably just end up doing this manually. 36. Never figured out precision landing range. HC3 has replaced the J2. Why do they have one ignition? Some of the sea-level variants have one ignition. Most of the vacuum engines will have either 2. The new upgrades have 3 or 5. 5 ignitions, 72 meters per second in 5 minutes. And I need to know how much and of what to vent to keep stable in Atmo, Wookie. Make sure we keep our gimbal on our single, I'm assuming AJ10 118K. Alright, 2 minutes to go. Let's ullage it in. Yeah, green to go. Ignition. So before landing, dump food and water from the 3 largest tanks, the belly, the tube, and the passenger cabin. Like, I mean, all of it? They're gonna need a little bit to get home, right? Something. The worst part about punching your bottle of beer is that it foams up and then goes completely flat. Oh, okay, the cockpit and the crew can have some. Alright, then we'll leave those stocked up and we'll just do I guess a heavy landing. Sips beer with glass shards in hand. We can't let good beer go to waste. That's for sure. Alright, so I guess we're going to shoot for right about 35 kilometers. Just bring it in nice and heavy and fast. Stress test this thing. No, it did not shatter. I just knocked it over real hard. Alright, so then, let's, food. Come on, KSP. Any second now. There you go. Alright, so keep the cockpit and the crew cabin and dump everything else. Landing with extra life support basically increases your stall speed and requires a bit more hypergolic fuel in order to balance the angle of attack. Gotcha. Water. Keep the crew cabin and cockpit. Dump the cabin, the crew cabin. Be right back. Doggo needs a walk. Oh, of course, Doggo needs a walk. Alright, well, I guess we'll dump the crew cabin then. Yes, dump the cabin, keep the carrier stuff. Oh. I don't know what you mean by carrier stuff. Oh boy. Food, but oh, well, it's running out. It's not empty. We have food. When this is crew carrier, the rear jump seat. Yeah, I think I was dumping that one. Let's just go back and double check. Yep, crew carrier empty. Water, crew carrier empty. Cool. You won't be in orbit for more than an hour, and you should have an hour's worth left. Good enough. Alright. Dump. I'm gonna leave a little more oxygen. Check the green tack button. Yeah, 23 hours a day. We might just not dump the rest of the oxygen because this is a really irritating sound. Fair enough. Alright. And let's kill the node. And time warp, I guess. A bunch. Purchase additional time. Time warp a bunch. Oh man, this thing is a work of art. This is absolutely amazing. Okay, let's get ourselves pitched up. Tracked. Oh, fuel. I forgot to dump excess fuel. We have some in the pants. Yep. Let's leave that open. And some in the cockpit. Do we have fuel anywhere else that I need to worry about? So unlock pants tank. Yeah. Might as well lock this open because we're probably going to be shifting some fuel around for ballast. Bring up atmospheric autopilot. Raft settings. Set AOA to 20. Not 250. Oh, Jesus, no. Dump down to 3 minutes. Oh, good. Ah. Uh-oh. Okay. We're a little under. Just a little. Just turn off AOA moderation. Alright. Whoa there, buddy. That was a manual camera change, not me doing it. I mean, nose tank only is technically enough as long as you have food, water dumped. Oh, but I probably don't want to put it all in the nose tank. Why are you so insistent on not facing to prograde, sir? Who is telling you to adjust this trim so readily? Stick around for the landing there, you really need to go. My clock is just ticked past quarter of midnight. Turn off SAS. I don't have atmospheric autopilot engaged yet. Alright, let's do it. Master switch on. So with this off, it will let me decide my AOA, correct? I'm hoping. And we are, okay, our paragraphs is here, so we have a lot of gliding to do. Let's probably bring this nose down just a bit. Don't moderate G either. Comfort him, bringing him home alive is even an inch shorter than they launched. Fair enough. It's been a solid philosophy. It just really doesn't have a bad side, does it? Just basically keep the say away and use your fuel to keep pitch as neutral as you can. Got it. Alright, well, now begins the fun part. And we're picking up speed, no worries. Really don't want to see the pitch fighting this much up. It doesn't look like I'm getting any input on the pitch vector at all. By 80 or 90 it will. It will be fighting, I should expect that. How'd you make the cover for the third upper engine? I think this is its own part. I don't know exactly what it is. That is a good question for Wookiee. It matches real well. It looks a lot better than the procedural tanks I would have used to achieve the same effect. BZ1 radial attachment point. Ah. Alright, we're starting to get some heating. I'd like you to get more on that prograde vector if you could, please and thank you. If anything, we need to deflect more north. Because we're going to be a touch bit south of the KSC. If we get there at all. So I'm actually going to bring this pitch down. And hope that we can get more glide than braking at this point. But I have no idea what the glide slope on this is actually going to look like. So, you know, there's that. Starting to show some deceleration. Writes down secrets by notebook to steal technology. Interesting that we're getting glowing on the cockpit and the cargo bay, but not the crew container or the crew module. That's a part. That's a part. That's a part. Oh, this is going to be so much fun to fly. It's so pretty. Alright, and the Uber test. What does it do in physics warp? It dances. Just a little, though. We're staying pretty much on target and holding AOA. Can't argue with that. Well, that's a interesting discrepancy. Yeah, if we can bring that back just a bit, let's check our mappy view. Yeah, so I can't honestly tell Yeah, we should be along the same telemetry there. So really about right now, we need to deflect a degree or two to the north. Current heading 67 degree. And most, like 90% of our available fuel is in the nose. We're still maintaining pitch up, so far so good. You can manually add tweak scale patches to all parts. Part that's perfectly shielded on top of your space plate. If you see some mode would make it overheat. Now heading 62 degree. So hard. Yeah, it looks like we've deflected about a degree or so, so let's go ahead and bring this back to prograde proper. Yeah, we're looking for about, no, still, well, 67 might be a bit of an overcompensation. 68. Brilliant. Let's hope that did it. Let's hope little small corrections far enough away. Good night, everyone. Good night, human person. Thank you very much for coming by, hanging out. And if anyone in the chat has not yet done so, put your suggestions for the hassle lifter in the YouTube comment section of yesterday's video. Or vote for the ones that are already there, per human person's directive. Please and thank you. Yeah, just a little bit on fighting the pitch, so let's pump some fuel back. Stop. Stop. Alright. Fighting our pitch vector a whole lot less, and we've made our first skip. We are on the way back up. This bodes particularly well, 6,800 meters per second or so. We are probably carrying too much nose up and not enough glide. 3, 2, 1, lift off, obviously. What do we need to suggest for the Hoff lifter? It's flawless. Just a name. That's all. It just needs a name. You hear that, human person? It is in fact flawless. Oh God, please no. It was beautifully engineered. Alright, and on our way back down. Are we close-ish to the west coast? Can't really see our deviation from our prior trajectory. Let's line that up and now zoom in. Maybe we did not deflect the whole degree I wanted to after all. Off to space. Oh, message. Look, I have a gimbal too. Deviation reminds me of the missile knows where it is. Well, the missile doesn't know where it is. It only knows where it isn't. Or where it was. Hoffelhaus. Holland Hoffelhaus. That's okay, Wookie. We call that error. And I will give someone $1 to post that in the chat because it's brilliant. The remix, obviously. By subtracting where it is from where it isn't. Mm-hmm. It's so funny because it's all incredibly true. And we are now under physics warp, and our control inputs from the flight computer are pretty negligible. We're just balanced. It arrives at a position where it wasn't. It now is. And on our way back down, 65 kilometer altitude, 5.3 kilometers per second. Green across the board. And is that the Gulf of California? It is, it is. Okay then, we need to deflect a lot now. I completely misunderestimated everything, and we need to do some serious course changes, preferably now to now-ish. 4 kilometers per second. I don't think we're making it to Florida, but if we're lucky, we can maybe try for the Delta. 4 kilometers per second, based on our current glide scope coming from like here to here, and the exponential manner in which we're going to start slowing down very soon, I project our landing site in New Orleans, as per usual. In this condition, it should be about 30 tons. We can check. Yeah, 29.709 ton. Dang, look. By subtracting where it is from where it isn't, or where it isn't from where it is, whichever is greater, it obtains a difference, or deviation. Landed at South by Southwest, the hipsters will drop the organic hand-ground coffee. Commander Cloud, thank you. Oh, a Shamrock. Thank you. Are you saying we're going to need some luck of the Irish? Before Jacksepticeye sues me? Alright. If y'all won't do it, then I will. Alright, very sorry. You can click on that at any point that you want, and it's Amazeballs, I think. I'm not sure I did the right one. That should be it. Yeah, this is definitely it. I'm 90% certain that's it. Cosmonaut Cray. Alright, how are we looking? Oh yeah, 3.2. We might not even make it to Louisiana. Sorry, everyone. But now we know that I should have deflected a whole lot more, a whole lot sooner, to do a whole lot more work. It's still, even here in Time Warp, it's giving very minimal feedback on holding this rather awkward angle. Alright, but we're coming into, I need to hands-on fly this thing pretty soon. Because reasons. Yeah, 2 kilometers per second. Did we even get like a heat trail or any kind of heating at all? Did we just like fly through this? Shuttle boy gives 0 fucks. Yep. This is just plain awesome. I would say this is probably the gentlest ride back from orbit I've ever witnessed ever. Oh, holy. Okay. I wasn't paying much attention. We have deflected a whole lot. A whole lot. There's some fire. Just plain awesome. Nicely done. Who would win, Reentry or one stable boy? Guess South by Southwest is in the cards after all. I mean, yeah, Texas comes down to like here and then goes up and around. So, yeah, we'll probably hit Texas. I'm not entirely sure exactly what part of Texas. But, you know, at least they wouldn't have needed to bring their passports. a little bit of pitch forward. So we're actually going to pump some fuel in. Oh, no, that's making it worse. That's the wrong button. Okay, all of our fuel is now in our pants. Bust the Marshall Space Center. So this job program sure is how it's really done. 24 kilometers are coming in pretty stable, down to 600 meters per second. So we can probably adjust our nose down and just start our final approach to wherever. It's weird to forget that you're actually in physics warp, because it's not doing the physics warp nimbly pimbly, which is absolutely amazing. But we're going to put this thing through some proper low altitude paces just as soon as we can identify a landing site. I mean, this might be Texas. Definitely kind of border towny, I think. I could be way off also. Alright, so is there an airfield? Yeah, that looks like an airfield. I think that's where we'll put her down. You can probably turn off RCS. Yeah, probably. I think I'm just going to let it shoot through the fuel. You know, less guys in hazmat suits that have to be upset at our arrival. Yeah, that looks like a good a landing site as any. I mean, not a real one, but it'll do. So we'll just bring ourselves right past it. Oh man, the glide slope on this thing is amazing. Holding steady, 255 meter per second. So I guess that's the runway, or is that the runway? Or I guess that might be the runway? These are important questions, everyone. Very important questions. Hydrazine is what plants crave. Like spraying hypergolics all over the poor bastards. Part with the black mark is tire residue from touchdowns. Okay. We're just going to get below the clouds and assess our situation, because I don't know where I am anymore. And we probably need to touch the ground a whole lot slower than this. I swear that airfield was around here somewhere. Oh, great. The cloud cover goes right down to the ground. This stupid swampy weather of southern Texas. Am I even on course? 0 visibility. Good times. Where are we at? 195 meter per second. Okay. We're gonna go for the outer runway, it looks like. Gear out. I'm not even... Oh, come on. I do appreciate that brief minute to think. This is not a runway. I was aimed at the runway. This is like a causeway or something different. Did our gear deploy? Yes. Air brakes at full. Whoa! That took me off guard. Hello! Nope. Okay. Sorry, Wook. It's a taxiway. Brakes. My 404 ready for taxi. 100 meters per second is reasonable. Okay. Perfect touchdown. This is entirely textbook. Gear's too far forward now. It's fine. This is fine. I think it was the, well, I mean, really, think that it would, default to nose down at some point here. But maybe. I think the chutes definitely had something to do with it, but you know what? We recovered the engines, the expensive bits. That's what... Yeah, the best way to deal with bouncy touchdown is touchdown slower. That's the only real way to do it. Oh, but man, this thing is absolutely brilliant. I can really am super excited to have this in the stable and to put it into immediate service. Space Center. You just land. Are you happy to see me? So a big thanks to Wookieed Industries for putting this thing together and putting literal months of testing and quality assurance into it. Like I said before, I am absolutely super excited to put this thing into service and get it working as intended, and to take over all of our crew ferrying duties at a much reduced cost than flying the SKS or even previous variants of the shuttle, which were not nearly as good. I have to say, this thing is just a brilliant, brilliant machine, and probably the best shuttle I've ever seen working in realism overhaul. So thank you, Wookieed. And with that, that's going to do it for this Twitch recap episode. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. I really do appreciate it, and I will see all of you in the next one. So until then, see you later.